Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Third Wheel. I'm one of your hosts, Aaron.
And I'm one of your other hosts, Hamish.
And today we are joined by Marva, who's actually a call out from Laura Harrison's episode. How you doing, Marva? Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm all good, thanks. How are you guys?
Yeah, all good. We don't really know each other. This is the first time all of us meeting. You went Warwick. How do you know Laura? Is that through Warwick as well, I guess?
Yeah, through Warwick, and we were in the same dance group at Warwick together. So we became friends that way, and then we even lived together third year actually.
Oh, awesome. So what'd you do at Warwick?
I did politics and sociology. She did politics actually, but I don't think we had many classes together. So yeah, mainly just through dance, but yeah.
Cool, yeah, awesome. But yeah, I think we should get straight into it. I think let's leave some of the football stuff to like a bit later in the episode. Kind of leave that as the ending. But you mentioned some cool things to us, like just when we're discussing the episode. And one of those is actually let's start with dance, seeing as you mentioned Laura. So you met Laura through dance, like a dance society at Warwick.
Yeah, so there was a society called Echo, and it was like the sort of street dance society. And my friend who was already at Warwick, because I had taken a year out before, she was the president of it at the time. So when I joined, I'd always done dance, street dance for ages. So joined there, and then Laura joined at the same time as well as quite a few others who are now my closest friends. Basically, it was how I got my closest friends at uni. Really was through that, because we just spent so much time together. We entered competitions together. There was so many rehearsals. We were on the exec together, so running classes, all that kind of thing. So it was probably my overriding memory of Warwick, actually, that dance society.
Yeah, how much time does it take up, during the week?
A lot. It was a lot. It was ridiculous. It was when you're in competition season, it was a few weeks before you're rehearsing every single day after, you finish your lessons. It was and then you had competitions on the weekend sometimes. So yeah, it took a lot of our time, but we loved it. So it was worth it.
Is there any sort of physical fatigue that you do from dancing every day? Because it is
100%. Yeah, it was grueling, especially it's mentally draining as well sometimes. Especially for competitions, it's the fun bit is at the beginning when you're learning all of it and you're putting it all together and you've got these creative juices and it's yeah, this is so cool. And then a few weeks into it, when you're just going over the same hand movement 5 times in a row for every 30 minutes or whatever, it's just oh my God, but worth it in the end.
Do you not risk injury by training every single day, similar to how people do a marathon, I guess?
I guess it's not. You do ways of if you're rehearsing choreography, you won't go full out every single time. So you maintain some health and energy through that. And then you kind of you do a lot of stretches together, lots of warm-ups together and all that sort of thing. But yeah, it's been a while. I don't even really remember how it all works. But
do you not dance anymore?
Not really. I still do sometimes. Obviously, no studios have been open for so long and stuff.
Yeah.
That's just been difficult in itself. I did a bit of sort of online classes and stuff through lockdown, but I just have quite a lot of hobbies, to be honest. And I just find myself every few years drifting in and out of different ones and focusing on different ones. So dance has taken a back seat for the last few years, but I loved it at uni. Absolutely loved it.
Was it something before university?
Yeah, it was big. So there's a company in the UK called Zoo Nation. They're sort of one of the biggest street dance companies in the UK. They did loads of the London 2012 choreography stuff and the opening ceremony. They're one of those. So I trained with them for quite a few years before uni, and they were pretty intense. And they give you if you imagine how foundation lessons are with ballet and tap and all that kind of thing. It was that equivalent, but for street dance. So you learn all the different street dance styles, you learn the techniques, you learn the strength and conditioning for it. It was quite intense. It wasn't just hey, let's learn a routine. It was quite a step up. So that laid a lot of foundations basically for me.
When you say street dance, what is that?
Well, there are just loads of different styles really. So you've got popping and locking and house dance and crumping and there's just loads of different styles within street dance itself. So that's what kind of Zoo Nation did. It was taught me loads of the foundations for all those different styles.
Sorry, is that Zoo Nation or am I hearing something else?
Yeah, Zoo Nation.
Oh, okay. I thought you're saying Zoot Nation. I'm what is going on?
No. that's something different.
I was going to ask if Hamish, are you ever interested in getting into dance?
Actually, in third or fourth year, I was considering joining the Bhangra Society, but then I ended up joining sports societies and then didn't go to it. Because I guess I put my time into one thing. I was you know what?
Yeah.
I do sometimes regret it, but then I'm like, I wouldn't have had time to do it anyways. So I don't live in too much regret. But we are eventually, Aaron. We promised Akil way before lockdown that we'd go to a session to one of their classes. So our friend has a company called Jab Bagger Fitness. Shout out. We said that we'd attend a session, like the free trial session or whatever, but obviously COVID happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if that saved us or if that just basically prolonged the day that we have to inevitably go.
Gives you time to train now before you turn up. Take some online classes.
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. I never really. My parents were big dancers,
right?
But like the jive was their speciality.
Oh, okay, cool.
So not street dance. I remember for my year 6 leavers talent. My primary school we had a year 6 like talent show for all the leavers, and me and like a few other friends. What we did was basketball and break dancing. And I don't really know why, because neither of those things were.
How do you do basketball on a talent show?
We were like just skills, like just bouncing. Basically, at that age, I was just bouncing the ball. If you could bounce the ball and put it through your legs.
Yeah.
But the thing
How did you play basketball with your height? Like, short people don't.
Listen, I'm short too. I play basketball. So
mate, if you got the sauce, you got the sauce. If you got the skill, you got the skill. You know what I mean?
Be a point guard. Don't do anything else. Exactly.
No, yeah, but it's weird thinking about it now. Like, why I did that, but yeah, just weird. I don't think I could do either.
I think I've hidden away all my memories of school talent shows because it's just too embarrassing. So I feel you on that one.
Yeah. One thing about like dance, I see like even like Laura post and other friends, the choreography that goes into it. And when you see it on like in competitions and stuff, I don't know how you can like remember all those moves. Have you ever had a situation where you just
forgot?
I'm sure it must, forgot 100%. Or like misstepped.
In auditions, that was my biggest downfall. It's why I stopped sort of being at Zoo Nation and like trying for that high level. My mind would freeze if I got nervous, and it was just like, it was very competitive, and it was like to the extent of, you just knew if you made sort of one mistake, then you wouldn't be picked for that thing. So the pressure of it started to get to me, and I just wasn't good at dealing with that. So auditions, I used to kept having brain freeze. But for like performances, I've never had that. I think just because you drill it so much that it's literally become second nature to you. You're able to you're able to do it in your head, even if your body didn't move. It's kind of automatic. Exactly. You know what the next move is. So I've never had that whilst performing. But at the end of like a class, when you haven't had time to drill it, 100%.
Yeah, I was thinking as well, like, because it's a rhythm, like you'd end up mapping it to music anyway. So like, do you know how like there's certain things in rhythms, like you and Aaron, like, I'm not comparing us to dance, but when we learn comps, like certain like logical and functional things, it's like it becomes a rhythm. But so like I can imagine that. But the only thing I was wondering is that you don't often. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen like people usually screw up on the actual stage and performing. For example, Britain's Got Talent. So like I was like, if you fucked up, like, is it recoverable? Like what would happen? Like
it depends. If you're like with one other person, or if you're just doing it yourself, then easily recoverable. In a big group where everyone's really tight and it's intricate movement, you're gonna stand out. But you just have to. They always teach you like you don't show it on your face. You act like that was part of it, and you just carry on, and you just try not to focus on it too much, and just get back into it and get back into the routine as soon as possible, basically.
Well, you've mentioned like you don't do it as much now. Is it something that you would like to maybe get back into, or do you think that's kind of?
Yeah, I think the thing for me is I really like the choreography element of it, and so I still do that myself. Like if there's a song that I really like, I'm just that kind of person. I play it over and over again anyway. I usually learn it on piano, I learn it on guitar, and then I choreograph to it, and then I'm done with the song and I move on to the next one. That's just kind of how my like brain works. But so I still choreograph now and then, but that was what was so nice about uni was that, and I'm definitely not like an amazing choreographer. I'm not a professional dancer. It was definitely a thing that I enjoyed and the most. So at uni, you had the avenue to like teach, and I've done quite a bit of teaching actually, even to like kids of dance. So I really like the teaching aspect. But when you come back to London, it's like, where are you going to teach unless you're actually like properly training and good enough to take these classes and teach? So unless I go back to teaching primary school kids or whatever, which I used to do, I doubt that's going to happen. But it's cool. I do some stuff like me and a friend will just choreograph together and film it and post it and that sort of thing, which is nice. And I might go back to lessons soon, but I just don't have the time at the moment.
Yeah, that's fair. Hamish, do you have anything else on dance stuff?
No, I was going to start dancing into the music topic.
Good segue.
Yeah, so one thing, what was I going to say? Oh, shit. Okay, there you go.
Segue's gone.
Yeah, so you talk about dance and how now we're going to try to dance around to another topic. So dance usually has a background music in it of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And here, well, I haven't actually caught up on this, so I'm a bit like underprepared for this episode today. So it says working in music and you're an artist manager.
Yeah.
Which sounds quite cool.
Yeah. So I work for a sort of independent record label, but they have a management company too. So I don't know if you've heard of the radio station Rinse FM. So they're really big in sort of London underground music. They brought through some like of the biggest genres, like they were instrumental with like grime and dubstep and all of that. But the guy who owns it, who's my boss, he owns like a separate company basically, which is a record label and a management company, and that doesn't do that just that kind of stuff. It's also got like singer-songwriter stuff. So yes, I work as an artist manager, but a lot of those people that we manage are like independent artists, so they release their music on our label too. So I have to do all of the kind of record label side of it as well.
So Rinse FM is the OG one as well.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know they were still about, to be honest. I just
They're about. They're doing some sick stuff, yeah.
But that's cool. It doesn't really, like, we have this with so many other guests. Like, it doesn't really relate to your degree much. Well,
it was actually my degree that got me in there because, so I did politics and sociology and I did my dissertation in sociology, and my dissertation was on like the sociology of music, and I did it on basically grime and its like political and sociological contexts. I actually got like Jeremy as a participant, which is pretty sick. And a few.
Wait, for your dissertation?
Yeah. Jeremy was a participant.
I'm actually watching a podcast of them recently.
Yeah, so that was really cool. And then whilst I was doing that, I was kind of asking around like for connections and stuff, trying to get interviews. And it turned out my like aunt knew someone who worked at Rinse, and then it didn't work out for the dissertation. But then when I graduated, they were like, "Do you want to like meet with them and sort of just talk?" So I met with that person, and they then got me an interview with who's the guy who's now my boss. And it was just for like a little internship. It was like a few days a week. I was still doing like tutoring stuff on the side. And then after like 3 months, I got the job. And because it's such a like small company, it's a big company in terms of, because they do like events, they do the radio. So in that sense, it's big, but the actual like label management side was quite small. So it just gave me the opportunity to kind of rise through that. But it was, essentially through my degree that I got it.
That's mad. What was the actual title of your dissertation called?
It was actually, I took a Skepta quote from an interview. So he said something along the lines of, "I'm going to wear a hoodie and get to number one." So in classic dissertation style, it was then like colon, an investigation into blah, blah. But it was about like grime. I think it was called like grime music and like entrepreneurialism, or I don't know, something like that. I don't know if that's a word, but basically just about like representations of grime music and other musical genres that were similar to it in terms of how it came about. So I compared it to hip hop, I compared it to jazz in terms of how it was presented, of like representation of Black musicians and how that correlated with the white musicians and white audiences. And then essentially how that's now led to like having like a lot of grime artists have had to do it themselves. So that's when the kind of entrepreneurship stuff came into it. So yeah, that was kind of it.
No, that's wicked. And the job sounds like super interesting too. You're gonna have to say you enjoy it just in case, but like,
no, I'm
assuming it's like a really enjoyable, like,
it is. It's
something
really
you're passionate about.
It is, and it's very like the whole kind of workplace is just very like relaxed, and I say relaxed when you're doing a project. It's obviously like quite intense, but it's just sort of like, it's not very like corporate in the sense of like, oh, you've got these targets and you have to do this and you have to be in at this time and do that. It's just very much like when work comes up, you do it. And I've been given quite a lot of like freedom and responsibility now, so the projects that I'm heading up myself, it's kind of, obviously I get a lot of advice and help from my boss, but it's kind of up to me to just sort of view how I see fit basically, and work with the budgets myself and work with what marketing and stuff like that. And just, yeah. So it's quite a lot of freedom, quite a lot of just like creativity. It's pretty cool.
So as an artist manager, are you like managing like a particular artist or like sets, like a group of artists?
Yeah, so it's kind of changed throughout the years. So we have a number of artists on our roster. It used to be that a few of us would work across a few of the different ones together. And especially when I was starting out, I was just doing more of the kind of like diary stuff and like the more kind of admin-y stuff. Whereas now that I've been there for a while, me and my colleagues, we kind of just have our own artists that we mainly work on. And yeah, but then it's different. So we have a few artists that I focus on as both manager and label. Then there are like a few artists on the label who we don't manage, who we just run their records, not their actual management. So yeah, and then there are like some presenters that we manage, but obviously they don't release music. So it's just a mix of both.
Yeah. So when you manage them, so you mentioned they're like scheduling, like, diary stuff and all that. What else would be involved?
Anything you can think of, essentially. It is quite all consuming, but I've got good people, so it's good. But yeah, it's just like brands hit them up to collaborate. You're sorting with them because, like I said, I'm working on the sort of label side of it as well. So we're planning their whole timeline, what they're going to release next, when do they need to be in the studio, when do they need to get their photographs taken, when do we going to do our artwork, our video shoots. It's just like planning all of that and just being that communicator between them and whoever else they're working with as well.
So then what's the difference between that and the record label side of things?
Well, because we do both, it does cross over a lot. But when we've worked with artists who are on record, assigned to like bigger record labels, we do more of the like communicating whilst the record label say, we've got this great photographer and we've got this person and we're going to input the music this way. And whereas as both, we also have to do like the uploading the music. We have to find all the like, get together all the admin of all of that stuff. We have to plan out the timeline completely separately, whereas with a record label they would do some of that stuff too, and they'd have their own in-house people to do their marketing, etc., whereas we would have to find those people ourselves when it's independent.
Yeah, I was going to ask the generic question of who's some of the most popular, I guess, artists that you worked with.
So we work with quite a lot of like,
if you're allowed to say that.
Yeah, I know, I'm a bit like, how much can we go into it? No, I'll say people, just generally people I've worked with. So worked with Sinead Harnett, who's an R&B singer, worked with Sasha Keeble, this young singer-songwriter called James Smith, who is really good.
Oh, James Smith. I've got a few of his songs on our playlist, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's the same James Smith, I guess it's quite a common...
It's a very common name, but... yeah, Sasha Keeble was incredible too. KEB.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like some, not like, like Heartless Crew and like some of the old school garage guys too. So yeah, a few different. And we've had some like presenters like Emerald Lewis. She's really cool. Does a lot of presenting stuff. Yeah, a few others. I'm trying to think. But yeah.
Then now the next part is a shameless Hamish question for the third wheel. Will we ever be able to get in touch to book in some artists?
Is that the kind of thing you'd handle? Like, say
100%.
They wanted to collab with an influencer, like a YouTuber or
that's
podcast,
my life.
Whatever.
That is my life.
Let us know the feet, if any.
Do you ever have to just? Would you ever like if somebody like I know a random YouTuber or person on Instagram was like or a brand like got in contact with you? Do you always have to go speak to the artist and be like, is this something you want to do, or do you sometimes just be like, nah, this isn't right?
Mostly we'll ask just in case, even if it looks like they'd never been. There are some things like, especially when it was mainly like through Rinse, where I get some emails sometimes which are just like, play this song on radio, and I'm like, no, I don't even have the authority to do that. So there are some requests, or like requests for collabs that I'm looking at them and I'm like, sorry mate, like no. But generally I will pass them on.
Would it even be like features? Like if they want to make a song together?
Yeah. Some people hit me up for features for like, whether it's like Sash Keeble or KEB or something. And sometimes you're like, I'm just sorry, but no.
Do you have much like actual like contact with them, like face-to-face contact?
Oh yeah, all the time. My life is calling them like every day and seeing them, yeah.
Yeah, that's mad. That's mad. I was going to ask Hamish if he had any rap or crap.
One sec. Let me just double. I do had like a backup. I think I just had to like finish one or two bars. Let me just check.
When we say rap, though, what?
It could be any music actually. Because I had to make it. Okay. I had to make it generic because I used to only put grime and drill in there. But then obviously,
because you know what it is as well. It's like when you work in music, you feel like you're going to listen to so much music, but I find myself listening to so much less music generally because I'm spending so much time listening to the music that I have to listen to. That it's just like, that's what most of my time gets used up listening to. And then it's just like, suddenly on like a Friday, I go to my new music Spotify and I'm like, oh God, right, here we go. Like, who have I missed? Who are these people I know nothing about now?
Yeah, I've said the same about podcasts. Like I used to listen to podcasts a lot. And now since we've been making a podcast, I don't listen to podcasts because I have to listen to my own podcast when I'm like editing it. So.
Exactly.
So would you say you're like fairly... You could pick out like fake or like Hamish lyrics versus real lyrics. Would you say that this is?
I mean, it depends what real lyrics you're going for, because obviously there are some that you're just like, how did that make it into a song? So let's see how good your bars are as well, and then we'll find out.
Usually I keep it like
Hopefully you're not using any artists that Marva manages.
Yeah, I know.
And then Marva's like, oh, it's crap.
Of these, I don't think none of them are associated with Rinse FM. Not in this installment, at least.
Cool.
If it happens,
no,
we're quite out of it.
Cool. So the general rules of the game. So I'm gonna say a lyric, and then you're both gonna guess rap or crap. Depending on whether you get it right or wrong, you'll have a chance to still guess whether it's the song name and artist for like bonus points.
Yeah.
And that will just try and give you a bit more of a lead into the coming rounds. There's only very few rounds, so it's not going to be that long. The first one is, if I wear me a rollie, I earned it. Making sure that I feed all my people. They're the reason I grind when I'm serving. I took me some L's, but I'm learning. So I took off the L, now I'm earning. And now I need a crib fully furnished, but I got me a fully serviced.
So generic, it's hard to tell. All right. I don't know who it is, but...
So what did you go for, Marva?
I went for rap.
And Aaron?
Yeah, I went for rap too.
Okay, so you're both right. Now the thing is, who do you think it is?
I went Gracious by Wretch 32.
Right, Wretch 32.
I actually went for a song. I've just gone for Heady One, but I've got absolutely no clue.
Yeah, neither of you are right. It's Reverses by AM and Our Dads.
I don't even know who that is.
No, I know Our Dads, but yeah, it's not a song I am familiar with.
Our Dads, as in like my dad, like our dads.
No, Ard Ads. So ARD.
Oh, like art, like your ard mate.
That you say like hard ads, but like it's odd ads. All right, the next one is, you thought it was all fun till bro asked me to ride shotgun, and then I got the job done. Cool. So what did you both go with?
I went with crap.
I went crap too.
Do you guys want to try guessing an artist and?
Wait, so is it?
What if it's crap? Then?
I think it's Hamish featuring the boys.
Yeah, you're both right. I was trying to get a sneaky.
Hamish is going to be compared to some artists.
It was just too short. I think if you got longer, you'd given yourself
the thing is,
chance.
previously I put 8-bar ones in, and I got Aaron because like Aaron wasn't expecting me to put
anything that's over like 5 seconds long. I think it's a rap.
Hickory Dickory Dock. Got one eye on the rollie, one on the ops.
Hickory Dickory Dock. I don't even know if you know that nursery rhyme.
I've gone rap.
I've gone rap as well. Hamish ain't going to tell us because he wants to be compared to some artist. If it's
no, this one's debatable, which is why I need you to.
What do you mean debatable?
Like, when I tell you afterwards, I don't know, maybe you'll have a disagreement.
The thing is, I don't want to offend anyone by picking them when that bar isn't the best. I'm like,
I've done it multiple times already.
I don't know. I've got no clue. Who have you gone for?
I've gone for Justin Timberlake, True Colours from the movie Trolls.
That's a good answer.
This is why I asked it's debatable, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the I Spy remix, but it's the parody mix by Unknown P, the singing dentist, and Man Like Hacks. So I don't know.
I Spy is in the one by Kyle.
No, Crept and Con.
You know, I was gonna put Crept just as a like joke, but then I was like, that seems too offensive to someone like Crept and Conan because they actually have good bars. But that makes sense if it's Unknown P.
Yeah. Next one is, hold up, take a minute, because I ain't trying to fuck your image up, and more than likely, mess around in triple cuffs, stumble around town for your zipper up.
Yeah, what was the and about?
No, the and, it was meant to be a comma, but I like froze, and then I tried to get my flow. What do you think? What were your answers, both of you?
I've gone with rap.
Oh, I've gone with rap too. We haven't gone anything different yet.
And what was the reasoning for your rap, Marva? I'm curious.
Just because that first line, hold up, wait a minute, there's a Meat Mill song, I think, that starts like, hold up, wait a minute, you thought I was finished? So that's just, but then that could be why that came to you and you wrote that bar.
I think that's either the intro or like Flexing by Meat Mill, but you could have an artist guess anyways, but it's not that song.
So we correct. So we are correct.
Yeah, you're both correct. Correct.
I reckon it's a Drake song.
I went Big Sean.
Both of you are wrong. It's A$AP Rocky's verse in Good For You with Selena Gomez.
Oh, Selena.
Which is why I said I had to keep it quite global. But yeah. Next one is, I know things get hard, but girl, you got it. Girl, you got it. There you go. Can you tell by how they're looking at you everywhere you go?
I got this one.
Oh.
Does that mean it's rap or crap, Aaron? Is she playing mind games with you?
I've gone rap.
You both guessed rap and you're both right so far.
Oh, wait, isn't that one? No, wait.
All right. Well, Aaron, you can take your guess anyways, because
I've gone for No Brainer by DJ Khalid, and Justin Bieber and whoever else is on that track. There's a few others on there. Quavo,
well, you're wrong.
Chance Rapper. Good song. Check out. I like it.
What would you want to lock in your other guess, or do you want to say a separate guess?
I think it's either. No, I think it is. It's either called "Make You Proud" or "Make Me Proud." It's the one Drake featuring Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, that is the exact song.
Oh,
I wasn't gonna use it, but I just felt like
I know things get hard, but girl, you got it. Girl, you got it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Banger.
Banger.
All right, next one is 2 chords with empty threats, and now this prick wants to get physical. When I send for you, consider it lucky if it's just lyrical.
oh.
I don't know. Let's go with this.
This has been a dead day for you. What did you both guess?
I've got crap.
I want to replay one of I want to replay one of both of you were crap. Both of you are right. Honestly, this was under pressure. I wish you because you actually managed ours. I wish you got to do one of the other ones, but oh well. So the current score is 9-6 because of that. Because of "Make Me Proud" by Drake with Nicki Minaj. So well played, Marva. Congrats on becoming the winner of the 4th installment of Rap or Crap.
I can always rely on my Drake knowledge.
Yeah.
Oh man, I threw in Drake too early. I should have just waited one more round.
Right, yeah, exactly. No, but when you mentioned DJ Khaled, I thought there was going to be Drake in your list of artists, yeah, and then you could have got a point there for it.
I wouldn't have got Nicki Minaj though. I wouldn't have got that. But nah, fair play. Staying in like the music kind of topic a bit as well. Like from your Instagram, you seem a bit of a musician as well.
Yeah, I'm just sort of like self-taught piano guitar, so I've just been kind of like over the years just trying to get better at both of those. Obviously before lockdown I would do like some open mics and stuff too, but like I sing, but I'm not like amazing at singing. I prefer like the songwriting side of stuff. So through lockdown I've just trying to get better at producing as well. But yeah, it's not something that I'm like, really pushing to like get stuff out or anything, but it's just like a cool thing to do on the side. Keeps my brain going a bit.
But you say you're not like, you don't think you're a very good singer, but then to do like open mic stuff, you have to be like quite brave to do it in.
Yeah, like I can sing, but I'm just not like, I've never been someone who's like, I'm going to become a singer because it's like, I just know I'm not like technically, especially working with professional singers, like I see the level that they're at. And I'm just like, I don't kid myself. I know where I'm at. So, but it's still fun to do. And also when you're songwriting, you write songs that can work for your voice. And so it's kind of a bit easier. But it took me a while to get better at open mics because it can be very difficult.
The stuff you write, what kind of genre would you say?
I mean, because a lot of it I write just like on guitar or piano. So I write often acoustic. Quite a few acoustic stuff. I like writing a good ballad just for a kind of songwriting exercise. But whilst I've been producing, like starting to produce, I prefer more kind of like R&B side stuff of it. But yeah, mixed with a bit of kind of acoustic.
Okay, so it's quite varied.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to see like artists and like if they're listeners of the kind of music they produce or if they're just good. Because I imagine like if you're a country singer, for example, that's just how your voice is. Like you can't help that, but maybe you're just a massive fan of R&B and you don't really like country. But
I guess it depends. You're probably still influenced by, I don't think you just end up in a genre you completely hate. You're probably influenced by it. And also I think a lot of people don't like when you write your own song. I think it's different for certain pop artists, whoever, who don't write their own songs. Although I think that's changed a lot. I think a lot of people do. But I think when you write your own song, like when you write, you realize how difficult it is to even write like a cheesy pop song. And so you can still be very appreciative of that song, even if you wouldn't listen to it as a genre in itself. You can still be proud of that song and happy with that song and like that song because you know what's gone into it and how difficult it is to write a cheesy pop song that resonates with a load of people and sells millions of records. So yeah, but then also working with artists, I know that because you have to listen to it so much. Like people think about, when you perform and you've performed it for years, before you even get to releasing it, the amount of times you need to listen to it in the mixes before it goes to mastering, whilst you're in the studio, whilst it's being recorded, whilst you're changing it up, like you listen to it so much that I've got so many artists, by the time that it's even come out, they're so done with that one and they're ready for the next project. So a lot of people just get sick of their own music.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, also, the thing working with artists, as you said, you see firsthand how hard they work. I think that's something people probably brush over a lot when it comes to musicians and music artists. Probably, maybe assuming that they make a few songs and just like party all the time, kind of thing, and probably don't realize the amount of hard work that goes into it.
There's a fair bit of partying as well. I won't lie. Depends on the artist. But no, it is a lot. It's like the amount that goes into and seeing it as well is definitely not even just on the professional voice level, but on the level of how much extra stuff outside the music they have to do, of just sitting there for hours in hair and makeup and doing photo shoots and interviews and press bits and brand stuff. It's like it's all consuming. It's so much, and it's like so much of the stuff that you wouldn't always expect to come with the music. Like if you just wanted to be a musician and a singer, and then suddenly you've got like 3 days where you just have to be focused on like trying to put together styling mood boards, and you don't care about the styling. It's like you have to be kind of quite holistic in your approach. You have to be able to know what you want in all those elements of creativity as well. So it is quite a lot on the artist too.
I was going to also mention like how you said you songwrite a bit. Could you like mention to one of your artists that you're managing, like, hey, I've wrote this song. Do you want to?
I don't, because it's just a bit, unprofessional.
A bit weird,
yeah. But it's good because I've honestly learned so much from being in the industry. Like we sit in a lot of the recording sessions and stuff like that, and just learning all of that stuff has really helped with my own stuff. And like my boss, not only is he produces a lot as well, so I chat to him a lot. He'll and because what is good is, even though I'm not in there in the studio writing for them or anything like that, but because they know I do have musical ability, they often trust my opinions on certain things.
That's nice.
Like I'll say like, no, I think there needs to be another chorus here, or et cetera, et cetera. Like now and then that kind of stuff happens. Or if they send the mix over and we have to give feedback, and I might say that those vocals sound too loud, that sort of thing. So I'm in no way trying to say that I am a big part of the creative process. I'm not trying to state my claim on any royalties or anything like that to any of my artists who might be listening. But it is quite nice that even just choosing what song they put out, we all have an input in that. So if they come with 10 songs and we need to decide what ones are going to go on the project or be released, like all of us on the team will have a say on that. And it's quite nice to know that they trust our opinions on that.
No, that's wicked. That's really nice.
Yeah, I was going to tangent just a little bit back. So do you also manage like creating tour dates and everything?
Yeah, sort of. So if they do a big tour, they'll have a tour manager, and they do a lot of that admin side of the actual tour stuff, because there's a lot that goes into that. But yeah, for individual shows, 100% we have to sort out what that day is and be the kind of person on hand on the day, along with a tour manager or along with a promoter, etc. So yeah, we and the budgets and stuff we have to oversee and all of that when it comes to touring.
How much chaos and struggle was it for at least the individual shows that may have been booked for COVID and then obviously kept getting recycled? Because obviously we're still waiting. Currently, I think all shows, at least the ones I'm going to, are September onwards.
Yeah, it was difficult. Luckily for us, the way it panned out with some of our timelines, it wasn't too bad, because a lot of them were just in the stage of having just finished recording their music and now we're going to put it out. So it wasn't like they just put out an album and were ready for this big tour and then that all got cancelled. So luckily that didn't affect, at least the artists I work with personally, they didn't affect that too much. But it's just a shame. It's like, there were still some shows booked, and it's just like, it's a shame just not to, especially for the artists, that's such a big part of what they love doing, is getting out there and singing to people. So to not have that element of their job and just instead be doing really like, these live streams on Instagram and stuff instead, it's like, it's a big fall from grace.
Yeah, but hopefully it's like looking a lot better coming up.
No, definitely. We've started to book stuff in now, so hopefully it all goes to plan.
Awesome. Yeah, I mentioned saw on your Instagram all the music kind of stuff as well. Mm-hmm. But also a big part on your Instagram was football. I do want to get into like the Euro 2020 kind of stuff. For those listening, we're recording this on the 15th of May. Yeah, we're in May, right? Yeah, cool. May, but this will be coming out like a week before Euro 2020. But first of all, like football, and like particularly a topic that'd be quite close to you, like women in sport and women in football in particular. How did you get into the sport?
So in a few different ways. I mean, now I do quite a bit of sports journalism stuff, and that's kind of like a second job to me now, which has been really cool, mainly just this last year. But in terms of just generally getting into football, it was just a big family thing. My brother and my older cousin, who I'm really close to, they're just big football fans. So even from a young age, I was just playing a lot of football. I was playing football with them. My brother's 5.5 years older than me. My cousin's 10 years older than me. We used to go to the park and they would play 2v1. So them two versus me, which, as you can imagine, wasn't the fairest of outcomes. But yeah, it really got me into football. Yeah, exactly. toughen me up. And they're both huge Everton fans, so that got me into supporting Everton, and us three just like, it's really nice. It's like our kind of bonding thing. We go to a lot of games together and all of that, and have met other people through that, which is really nice. So yeah, I've just always been a big football fan and played football myself. And then just with that, just you cannot be a woman or girl in football without noticing the problems with being a woman or girl in football. So it was just something I started to talk about more and write about, and yeah, kind of developed from there.
Yeah, it's actually a topic that we briefly spoke about in our very first podcast episode.
Yeah, I listened to that actually. Yeah,
Women in Sport, because our good friend Yash was a journalist for like a women's football publication at the time, I believe. But yeah, what were the difficulties kind of like breaking through into the industry as a woman?
I guess in terms of the industry side of things, I never even really considered it particularly, which I do think is a symptom of just how male-dominated the industry is. I actually got into the industry because there was a program, this collective called BComs. So they're actually called the Black Collective of Media and Sports. So they work with getting more ethnic minorities into the sports industry, but they had a program that was for sort of ethnic minorities and women to like these kind of like masterclass type things. And I'd already done like little bits here and there. Like I'd done some stuff with Copper 90, just because over the years I've just sort of like grown my following on Twitter a bit just by talking shit about Everton and stuff like that. So I gained a bit of following. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, so I'd done some stuff here and there, but through this masterclass program just gave me a better insight into the industry, and I guess just was like, oh yeah, these things exist. And I just never really thought of them because I never wanted to be like a news desk type sports journalist.
Yeah.
But seeing the kind of connections that you can get in terms of just like all these alternative media platforms that exist now, like I said, like Copper 90 and all these different types of things, and just social media, and there's just a lot more kind of informal styles of reporting, which I'm drawn to more, or like social and political kind of inspired stuff about sport, which I like I said, the women in football stuff. So yeah, that's how I kind of got into it really.
What about like actually playing?
Playing, I just loved it as a kid. Was always like, I was one of the only girls, in the playground playing, and then my mum took me to like this training with this good friend of mine from school, but it was him and just everyone was a boy. So I was the only girl at this training. And then I think when I turned 9 or 10, it was pretty early on, there was some trials for Spurs. So I went there and got in. So I played for Spurs for about 3 or 4 years. But after that, the thing with women in football, which I talk about quite a lot, is that especially my age growing up, it was kind of like there were opportunities for that sort of thing or to try out a kind of higher level. But once you realize you didn't want to be a professional and, you didn't try out for these bigger academies, etc., there were very, very limited options for anything else. Even at that level, like playing for Spurs, all our games were around in the middle of Hertfordshire, in the middle of nowhere, because it's just so underfunded. There are very few clubs actually in London, which is why you also see a big lack of representation of ethnic minorities in the England women's setup. If you have a look at the Lionesses, their first team, you'll notice a huge difference in diversity compared to the men's team. And a lot of that is because most of the academies don't have a lot of funding, so all of their stuff is very much on the outskirts in areas that are very just kind of like white and middle class and spread out. So yeah, it was very hard to find a club at that age, especially if you didn't want to try out for these big clubs. It was very hard to continue casually. Now I've picked it up again, and there are a lot more like casual teams. I play for like a 5-a-side team, and there's like a league that we play in, and there are loads of teams within that now, which is amazing. There's been a big boost for women's football, so that's really great, and I hope that that's spreading to the younger levels as well. But yeah, it was really hard to continue as a kid. There was just like so, and if you didn't have parents to drive you as well, there was just no way you were playing. So yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, I think there definitely has been, especially I think the last 2-3 years, it's been a massive 100%. Boost. Like 100%. Even just like TV coverage of the women's game.
Yeah.
The Lionesses sold out Wembley, didn't they?
Yeah, I was there actually.
Do you like watch the women's game much?
I try, but it's like you say, there's the coverage of it can be quite limited. I think the other thing, and there's just been this big deal with Sky, which I feel will make a big difference, because what is difficult about the women's game is that now they're showing games, but there's very little like analysis, there's very little sort of general coverage. So all the kind of stuff that draws you into like the men's game and in other sports where like people don't realize how much like the stories affect you. Like if you know about this player, you know that they've transferred from this club to this club, you know that last year they were injured and they've come back, and this, when you get these kind of little narratives, it hooks you in a lot more, and you know each player, you know their story, and there's so little of that for women's football. So, and even if you're like really trying to get involved and watch it, it's like I watch quite a lot of like Everton women games, and even with that, it's very hard for me to draw any kind of like analysis and long-term like summaries, because unless I watch every single game over years and years, it's very hard to find any analysis online, any kind of stats, any sort of, you know, summaries. So that's a big downfall, but that's hopefully changing with this new Sky deal. Should be a big change on that.
Yeah, I'm a big Man United fan, and I know we were actually the last
just
big team to start a women's team, and we only started it 2 years ago. Yeah, and this week we sacked.
I think she resigned.
She resigned, but due to like lack of, I think she said lack of funding for the women's game,
and just generally, she's had some problems.
Yeah, which is awful. And she was doing a terrific job as well. Yeah, but no, hopefully it's. You said you're starting it up as well again, or you started getting back into it.
Yeah, no, I play for a 5-side team now. I've got a football tournament tomorrow, actually. So,
wicked. Good luck. And a lot of the journalism stuff as well. Like I've seen online, you did some stuff with the FA, with the Lionesses, and going to see games and covering. I saw, I think, your story on did some FA Cup games. Yeah. Like during lockdown. How's that like? That's like, looking at it, it's like a dream to me. Like that's something I'd be like, once I realized I couldn't become a football player, I still haven't realized it, but like doing that kind of stuff where like going to games and all that kind of stuff is like, that'd be sick.
Yeah, it was really cool. It started from that same organization that I did the masterclasses with. They have like a partnership with Chelsea. So they've just been sending different people out into the Chelsea games to cover it. So they sent me to a Chelsea Everton one so I could cover that. And then I was booked in for a few more, but then they also have a partnership with the FA, and the FA needed some people to cover the quarterfinal games. So they chose me. They sent me out to Everton Man City in the quarterfinal, which was just like, we lost, but it was still incredible to like be paid to go and watch Everton in the quarterfinals when no one else could go and watch it. Do you know what I mean? It was just like ridiculous. So that was amazing. And then from that, I think I did quite well. So they invited me back to do the semi-final. Yeah, didn't get the call up for the final today, unfortunately, but I think they weren't having anyone there, so I'll take that. But
yeah. Have you done any like fan TV stuff?
I've done like a few podcasts and stuff. Just started my own YouTube channel, so I need to grow that, but I'm just slowly doing that. And yeah, just hopefully the more of that stuff I do, it just kind of snowballs a bit.
Yeah.
Wait, quick question. Just to clarify, because I got lost in the middle. So are you're doing coverage for both women's and men's football?
No, mainly just men's. I haven't done any women's stuff actually. Yeah. I like write about some stuff in terms of like women's issues in sport, but I haven't actually covered much women's football.
Okay, cool. So then the Everton final is when?
There's not an Everton final. Okay. There's never an Everton final. We're never good enough for a final. But I went to a quarter final where we lost. But it was still a good experience.
I don't know, this season, Everton, what did you take on Everton this season?
Just clarify, I was taking the piss. I wasn't serious in that. I don't know. Probably really sounds stupid as well.
Basically, our season hangs in the balance of tomorrow's game and Wednesday's game. I'm actually going to Everton Wolves at Goodison with Copper 90, which is pretty cool this week. So that'll be a cool one. But yeah, we did well, and then injuries and just sort of our general style of play, we just went on a big sort of slump, and now we're like desperately hanging on to the last few games of the season to try and get Europe, but we'll see.
So I remember after the first month, we were looking good. I was like, Ancelotti, James.
I know. Ooh, but then Hamish has played about 20 games all season. He just gets injured every few weeks.
Yeah.
So I think,
Do you know, I nutmegged Alex Iwobi.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God.
In Rome. In 2000 and I think it was 11. I went to school with him, basically, with Alex Iwobi.
I know someone else who played with him, actually.
There goes Aaron's claim to fame, just nulled down.
No. I'm still claiming it.
Yeah.
Or do you think Alex Iwobi remembers that? Rather?
No. If I saw him on the street, he wouldn't remember who it was. I don't think so. But I don't know. He might remember me. I don't know. We're still friends on Facebook, so. But I don't think he's used it. But yeah, if we switch our attention to Euro 2020 or Euro 2021, I don't even know what it's.
They're calling it Euro 2020.
They're still calling it 2020.
Yeah, I was going to ask because I was so confused. Like, I know that it was pushed back, but saying 2020 and 2021 is just.
Yeah, I think it's just for kind of like official reasons, because it was like all the qualifications were for that, and there are other sort of little competitions that happen in 2021, so they just had to be
probably all the branding as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They didn't want to change all their logos and stuff. It's a bit too much money in it.
Okay, I got two things we can do here, two like links.
Mhm.
So there's like a choose an England squad, and then there's like predict a winner. So
Okay.
I think let's try to do an England squad. So this would actually come out after the England squad has actually been.
Okay, so we can see how accurate I was.
It depends if you want to go with what you think will be
Who
chosen.
I want,
or
yeah.
because I think it might be for me anyway.
Maybe I'll
It'd
do
be
a
very
bit
different.
of both. I might choose who I think, but I'll just say who I want in place for some of the people.
Yeah, then we can compare it, I guess, easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so goalkeeper wise.
Yeah.
So actually, interesting enough, it's been increased to so Hamish, for every like international tournament, you normally take 23 players. But recently, I think because of COVID, I guess, it's been increased to 26. So there's probably like a few more opportunities for some players that might not have gone. So let's go goalkeepers first. So normally, I think the standard is they take 3.
3, yeah. I think it's quite. I guess it's just if someone gets injured, and then you still need someone on the bench in case they, do a stupid tackle in the game or whatever. Yeah, I think goalkeepers is pretty predictable. It's going to be Pickford, Pope, and Henderson. I'm like, say 99% sure. Unless any of them get injured, I can't see it being anyone else.
No Joe Hart.
Doesn't even start. This is Harish's football knowledge is like 10 years old.
Yeah. I do also like to throw in like the occasional wind up, so that bit will make the edit. I'll be winding up the audience.
Harish's knowledge is AFTV and 10 years old.
I've got some stories about AFTV, but that's for another day.
No.
Oh no, we need the drama. We need.
Yeah.
Well, with your YouTube channel, you can just call out Ty or DT or something. What are you chatting?
I don't think there'd be any problem with me saying who isn't a nice person on AFTV.
I think I can guess one, obviously.
Yeah, those keepers, I think they're the 3 that Southgate would choose. I would maybe give a shout to Johnston, Sam Johnston, from West Brom.
I think if any
of the West Brom,
yeah,
it is. Well done.
Shout him. He's been gave me bare points on thing when I put Pope on the bench.
Yeah, I think if any of them get injured, Johnston.
Yeah, he's a ex-Man United player as well. So I've got he was in the youth team when Pogba and Lingard and all were breaking through. Henderson, by the way, I'm a big Henderson fan as a Man United. Like, I kind of want him to do well, but
he had a shocker the other day.
The positioning for the Salah goal, like, I can't defend it.
And the drop for the one before.
Yeah, the drop I can kind of like, okay. The positioning was like, literally, you couldn't have made it easier.
I had to rewind. I didn't watch it live. I watched the highlights, and I literally had to rewind it 3 times to be like, wait, what?
Can I say the West Brom one? Yeah, basically he's been scoring mad points, like because he gets like 9 saves a game minimum. Yeah, as penalty saves and everything. So yeah, when Pope got injured,
I was actually at the Chelsea West Brom game, the 5-2. That was just incredible. It was like such a fun game to be at. It was hilarious.
5-2 who?
It was 5-2 to West Brom against Chelsea. It was like the most unexpected game. It was hilarious.
Okay, let's go into defence. I think let's start with left back actually, because I think that's a bit easier.
Yeah, I think they'll just take Shaw and Chilwell. I don't think they'll need a third. And to be honest, I don't care who starts out of either of them. I think they're pretty equal.
Yeah, I've got my Man United cap bias on, so I'd go for Shaw. But to be honest, Chilwell is in the Champions League final. Yeah. Chelsea are doing well, and he's done well for England when I've seen him as well. And Shaw's kind of more on that comeback kind of season. So
yeah,
I think Southgate is going to go for Chilwell, if I'm being honest. But I'm happy with either of them.
Yeah, I'm happy with either.
Let's do centre backs. I don't know how many centre backs are standard. But we can go with like start. Let's go start. Who do you think would start?
I think probably like 4 centre backs.
Yeah,
maybe 5. All right, definitely Maguire.
Yeah, I agree with Maguire. Stones. Yeah, I think they're the 2. Hopefully Maguire's fit.
Yeah.
If we're playing 2 at the back, yeah, them 2.
I think he will take Mings. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I think he's going to take Mings. I think even Konsa has even had a better season than Mings, who also plays for Villa, but I don't think he's definitely not going to be taken.
I think Mings could even, if he plays 3 at the back, I can actually no, he won't.
I don't think he will. Yeah.
Any Everton?
My shout is Godfrey. I honestly really think Godfrey needs to be in that squad just for his versatility, because he literally can play He's played in every single position across the back line for us, in both a back five and a back four. I don't think he will get chosen. They'll probably go with maybe even Cody.
See, I think he'll go with Cody.
But he's not had a great season either. Yeah.
I thought Cody recently came back from injury and he's been scoring goals again, so that's quite nice.
Scoring goals? If you mean like he's got you like one game week, he's got you like 6 points.
So, on FPL, Cody last season and this season's been doing best. I took him out for a bit, obviously.
He's not had a good season.
Him and Konsa.
Yeah,
I know, but when I've had him on, he's done what I needed him to.
I think it'll be between Keane and Cody, but even Keane isn't, because we've got quite a few centre backs actually. Keane hasn't been as regular recently, but I think he will towards the end of these last few games.
So it depends if, are we counting Kyle Walker here? What are we counting Kyle Walker?
No, he'll be right back. I say let's go one more centre back, and then I think then it's difficult between 2 or 3 right backs.
Because I think Kyle Walker goes and another 2 right backs.
Yeah, I agree, but I think there might also be another centre back, to be honest.
So there'll be okay, got you. So I think centre backs we're at Godfrey, Keane, or Cody.
I'm going to predict Cody.
I think Cody will. I don't want him.
Yeah, I don't.
No Cresswell?
No, he's a left back anyway.
Cresswell has played like left off a back three.
Back three, yeah.
But I don't think he'll get chosen.
Say we have like 10 injuries or something. Can they call up more people to the squad?
There's like you get reserve places.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
So outside of the 26, right?
Outside of 26, there's like a reserve. Yeah. The thing is, especially with 26, I just don't think they're going to be used. So it's just like. But
I think the thing is with this as well. I think Gareth definitely does have his favourites, kind of people he'd choose. Right back. Okay, it's difficult. It is difficult. All right, Walker definitely. Yeah, I think Walker just because he can play right back.
And I think he'll start. I think Walker will start.
Do you think?
Had a pretty good season. Yeah, he's just more experienced. And he's in the Champions League final. He's done well.
Would you, if you were the manager, would you start him? Like it is up to you.
I think I would. I think just defensively, he offers a little bit more than Trent. So, but yeah, between Reece James and Trent, to be honest, I don't mind. I think both have obviously had their ups and downs this season. Well, not even ups and downs. Trent's had his ups and downs. Reece James has come through. So it's a bit, but he's played well. So can we put them both for now and see how many spaces we have? And then
I think you take Trent.
Yeah.
Every day of the week. I know he's not good defensively. Maybe not to start, but I think you take him being one of the best right backs in the world for the last 2 years or whatever.
I'll keep them both in. I might take James out later if I need another striker.
Well, I do think this is how many right backs he'll take.
Yeah.
My question would have been more if he takes Kieran Trippier.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Over probably Reece. Actually, no, maybe over Alexander Trent.
Mm-hmm.
My argument for Wan-Bissaka, another Man United bias. I don't think he's like top 2 right backs in the Premier League or even in this England squad, or top 3 maybe as a football player. But I think when you get to like the semi-final, if you're playing like a Mbappe or something, I'd rather Wan-Bissaka there than any of these guys.
I do feel for him. He's just in an era where there are just like our best position is right back.
I just don't know why he's not been given kind of a chance.
Yeah, and it's just that kind of thing. Once you don't get a chance, and they just favour the people who have.
I think he's quite bad on the ball, and I think that's something that happened to.
I think he just hasn't completely stood out either. Like he's done well, but he hasn't like stood out in the way that like Trent and James have in other games. Okay,
so that's defence done for now. Midfield.
So
this is probably the weak point, I think. Of
well, defensive midfielders, 100% is a weak point. I think given now we've got our 26, I'm going to put Bellingham in there.
Do you want to put Bellingham in there right now? I agree with you.
If it was 23, I wouldn't be sure. But I think with 26, and given that like that performance against City in the Champions League, I think he's got to be in there.
I'd have taken him in 23 as well, but I just don't think so.
Yeah. He's just so young.
All I know is that everyone's been saying that name recently.
Yeah, he's 17. He's 17, and it's just like ridiculous.
That's why you need to. I think you should always keep the young wild cards, which like the previous managers were always afraid to do. Until like Sam Allardyce and Southgate, I'd say.
Sam Allardyce, he had like one game, bro.
Yeah, I know, but don't. Sam Allardyce was a legend, bro. You see how he went out as well. You have to rate that. You have to rate that.
He's
As an
got his
Everton
relegate for
fan,
the first time.
I know. As an Everton fan, I hate him.
Oh yeah, he was Everton.
It was the most depressing era of being an Everton fan.
Oh, what was my Jude Bellingham, Hamish? That was, I don't know if you heard, he used to play for Birmingham, but they retired his shirt when they sold him.
Even though he was literally 16, 17.
Yeah, like as in retired, as in no one else can wear his shirt number at the club again.
Was he that, like, he was that great?
I mean, he can't have been if he was like 17. Do you know what I mean? But,
It was laughed at a bit at the time, but we'll see how well he turns out. He looks very promising though.
This retiring shirt business is just is it because they're that legendary? Because
it's more of an American thing. It's more they do it in America. But,
and it's usually whenever it's done, it's for like, if it is done in England, it's done for like legends. So it was laughed at a bit that like a 16-year-old. Yeah, it's not that common.
Other definites.
I think.
Do we assume they're all fit?
Well, yeah, if they're all fit, Henderson.
Yeah, Henderson's in there.
I think
Declan Rice would be my.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Rice starts, to be honest.
I think if they're all fit, Henderson and Rice have to start.
Yeah.
And then maybe Phillips, if there's space. Let's put Phillips for now. I might have to.
See, I'm not sure about Phillips, but I think he'll go.
I'm not sure about him, but I think just in that position there aren't that many.
Yeah, well, we got four.
Because
so
even Bellingham's a bit higher up.
Yeah, Bellingham's a bit box.
Yeah. All right. So now it gets.
So now I guess we're attacking mid, maybe.
Yeah. So Mason Mount, because I think he's going to play in the 3. He's going to play a little bit deeper than he does for Chelsea for England. Which
kind of like 4-4-2 formation or 4-4-3 or whatever
are
you going to play here?
Because they're going to play 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Just so that they can include Mount.
I think Foden goes.
Yeah, Foden 100%. Sterling still.
Sterling, I think he goes. I'm not sure if he starts.
I think he's lost his place as a starter, but he.
Well, I want to add Sterling a bit later with the wingers. Do you think Lingard goes?
Let's come back to him.
I think 26.
I think Grealish and Sancho 100%.
Oh, I'll take Grealish. But I think Mount, Foden, Grealish. That's like the conversation at the moment. Kind of like who's out of those 3, who's the guy.
Yeah, but then I think the way that Southgate's going to line up, he's been playing Mount in the 3 so that he would be allowed to play both Foden and Grealish on the wings.
I guess that's our attacking mids, really. Those that will play wider.
I guess,
it
depends how you play. You might play.
This is 2 CDMs, right? Just to clarify. You're playing 2 CDMs.
I reckon it'll be Henderson, Rice, Mount slightly up in front of them, and then it'll be like Foden, Grealish, Kane, or Foden, Sancho, Kane, or Sterling, Grealish, Kane. One of those combinations.
Yeah, the other day in the group chat, people were chatting shit about Sterling, and then Sterling scored that very day. I brought the smoke right back to the chat. I was
we weren't chatting shit.
He's had a.
It's an off season for him.
At least the second.
He's not been on form. You and I can admit to that, but don't chat shit about Sterling. I always stand by him.
Okay, Sancho.
I think if he was playing in the Premier League, there'd be no questions he would start.
Yeah. #welcome Sancho. Old Trafford.
Honestly, I'm so team Sancho. Whenever I see him for Dortmund, and because he was injured for a bit, but whenever I see him for Dortmund,
yeah, no, I hope I want him to go.
All right,
Rashford and Kane.
Rashford and Kane.
I guess you'd say Calvert-Lewin as well.
I think Calvert-Lewin's definitely going to go, to be honest.
Yeah, okay. So here's
all right.
So we got 2 spots.
2 spots left.
And wait, I
feel like I'm missing someone important.
Should we run it? So we've got the 3 keepers: Henderson, Pope, Pickford. Left backs, we've got Chilwell, Shaw. Centre backs, Maguire, Stones, Mings, and Cody.
Yeah.
Right backs, Walker, Trent, and Reece James. Midfield, we've got Bellingham, Henderson, Rice, Phillips, Mount. I'm going to count Mount, Foden, and Grealish in midfield as well.
Okay.
And then attackers, Sancho, Sterling, Rashford, Kane, Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, that's 24. So 2 more.
Wait, what do you think position-wise? Keepers, defenders.
I thought he could go with someone like Dyer, who can play either centre mid or defence, and also just his experience. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I think that could be a shout.
That's such a classic Gareth move.
My other shout is between either Greenwood or Saka.
Okay, I think Greenwood's been on form. He's what, 7 goals in the last 8 games or something.
Even though we have a lot of attackers, in terms of like that traditional number 9, if Kane got injured,
it's the same thing Gary Neville was saying.
Yeah.
If you saw that.
You'd play Calvert-Lewin possibly or Greenwood, I think. Yeah.
I think Greenwood plays right wing as well.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. He's not going to start over any of those at right wing.
I think Greenwood goes as well. So if I just say the other strikers we've got here. So we've got Ollie Watkins, Tammy Abraham, Patrick Bamford, Mason Greenwood, Callum Wilson, Danny Ings. Yeah, I think Greenwood goes ahead of all of them.
Yeah, 100%.
So should we add Greenwood?
Yeah, go on. All
Do
right.
you not think like Bamford or Watkins are even worth considering in the names you're throwing up there?
No, I think
they deserve like all these players.
All of those are at a very similar level.
Yeah.
And I just think, and like Calvert-Lewin is still kind of a similar level as well. I just think this season he's slightly above, and also just what he can bring in terms of like height for set pieces, like his headering is, and just crosses. You could just chuck him on at the end of a game, put in a load of crosses, and he'll get on the end of them. So that's what puts him above the rest of them. But it's harder on the rest of them. They're still good. But
for me, I think, although I think people can easily argue Bamford has had like a better season than Greenwood or like even Ollie Watkins, I'd say the ceiling on Greenwood is a lot higher. Like he's someone you'd be playing in the next year's World Cup and all that. Similar with Jude Bellingham and players like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Although Bellingham, I'll argue, is probably better than a lot of people in his position.
True.
Oh shit, Ward-Prowse. See, this is someone who I think will go. I'm pretty sure he'll go.
Do you think
as well?
With Phillips though as well, and Bellingham, I don't know if he's done enough. I think it's harsh for him not to, and then
so let's call out our midfielders. We've got Smith Rowe. He's not in the list. Saka, I think Saka's possible.
Just because of his versatility.
Barkley, I think, is not in there.
No.
Hudson-Odoi?
No, he often plays the under-21s anyway. So
Maddison, Barnes are the Leicesters.
Well, Barnes has been injured for a while, but Maddison I feel sorry for him. He deserves a place, but
yeah, I don't think he will though.
He's not going to get it.
Oxlade-Chamberlain or Curtis Jones
hasn't played enough. Jones plays the under-21s as well.
Ward-Prowse,
possibly.
Dele Alli, no. Harry Winks, no, not anymore. I don't think.
No.
Eric Dyer, you were saying Eric Dyer.
Maybe.
Why Harry Winks not anymore? Out of curiosity, like obviously I know that he's not good enough for this.
He just hasn't had a good season. Hasn't played much.
He got called up to a few squads, didn't he? But
yeah, but that was often when other people were injured.
Mourinho's just ruined Tottenham. Like you don't have Tottenham.
I know all of those players have just been ruined.
Lingard, I think, is possible.
Yeah, I agree.
Antonio, I don't think it's possible.
No, I was going to ask about this one. Why not Antonio? You don't think he's one of the dense people that you want to drag him down?
He's great for West Ham, but I just think there are too many people in his position in this team that get above him.
I think he might have switched to Jamaica as well.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
I saw there was a thing of quite a few players were going to together switch to Jamaica.
Yeah.
But I think Holgate was even in that.
Oh, really?
Article. Yeah. I don't know if he will. I doubt he will, but yeah.
And defenders, we got Tomori, Konsa, Cash, Target, Trippier. We got too many right backs.
You don't need 4 right backs at a competition.
Ben White, Tarkowski, Holgate, Godfrey, Keane.
Again, to be fair, Tarkowski, Keane, Godfrey, Keane all probably deserve a place over Mings or Cody, but then they're not going to get it.
The thing is, like Konsa, I think he's had like quite a good season, but it's just because he plays with Burnley. I don't know if he's getting underlooked here or overlooked. Sorry. You
mean Aston Villa? Oh no, did you say Tarkowski? Yeah, who did you say? Konsa. Okay, Aston Villa. Yeah.
Villa. All right, I'm gonna say my last spot. I wanted to go to Saka. Yeah, he's just very versatile as well. Like he can play left back, he can play right back, he can play midfield, he can play as a 10, he can play in the front 3. But I think
if Arsenal were doing a little bit better.
Yeah, and also he's young, so there's an excuse of not taking him.
Yeah.
I want Saka to go. I think he's going to take Dyer.
Really? Over Lingard and Ward-Prowse?
Possibly.
I think he takes Ward-Prowse over Dyer, surely.
Maybe.
Do you not think Lingard's success is due to the way the people play against West Ham? That's the debate we had recently.
Potentially, but I think Lingard's also... I think Southgate likes Lingard, from the last World Cup. I think
if any of those attackers get injured, I think Lingard gets in.
But you want to go with Dyer?
Just because he can play in centre back or centre midfield, I'm going to go Dyer.
Can I say, I would expect Southgate to take Dyer. He's
exactly.
It is a bit for Southgate.
Although he didn't play one game in the last call up, even though he got called up. So maybe that's a sign he's finally coming out of favour. But
See, so now we've selected Dyer.
yeah,
I feel like he'd take like a Lingard
over a Greenwood.
Yeah. Or a Ward-Prowse even.
Why not take one less defender?
But then maybe I'm just thinking that because like in the last few squads, people like Henderson and Grealish have been injured. So that means
exactly.
That's maybe why Ward-Prowse has been
and
selected.
I don't think Ward-Prowse has done enough to be like, gets a spot over like, do you know what I mean? Some of the others. So
I don't think Sancho was called up last time either, but that might have been
he was injured. He was
an
injured.
injury thing.
Yeah. Basically, I'm pretty happy with whatever the first 11 will be. I think there's, especially in the front three, I think like whether it's Foden, whether it's Grealish, whether it's Sancho, whether it's Sterling, even Rashford, I'm cool. Like they're all very good. And everyone gets emotional about who gets taken, but it's just like, you can't take everyone and everyone has their favourites. And there's always reasons for, do you know what I mean? Even reasons beyond that we know, like we don't know what Southgate's tactics actually will be. And like people hate the fact that like Dyer and stuff get called up, but it's like you don't know the extent to which they need some experience in the squad. You don't know the extent to which they need leaders in the squad and what he's like with the younger players, etc., etc. And it's also just like a lot of them are similar level. You know what I mean? Like, come on, Keane, like
basic ballers,
Mings,
basic
Cody.
Ballers.
They're good. Like obviously they're very good to be there, but it's like Maguire and Stones stand out of all of them. Everyone else beyond that on the bench, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? It's like same Henderson and Rice, Bellingham, want either of them free to start, but whether it's Phillips on the bench or Ward-Prowse, I don't care. Don't get emotional about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't need to cry about it. It's fine.
Okay, let's name the squad we've chosen. So this is what we kind of think Southgate's going to choose rather than what we would do. So we've got Henderson, Pickford, Pope as our three goalkeepers. We have, let's go right back first. So we got Trent, Walker, and Reece James. Centre backs, we've got Maguire, Stones, Mings, and Cody. And left back, got Chilwell and Shaw. Then in midfield, we've got Jordan Henderson, Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips, Jude Bellingham, Eric Dyer, Mason Mount, Phil Foden, and Jack Grealish. And attackers, we've got Jadon Sancho, Raheem Sterling, Marcus Rashford, Harry Kane, Calvert-Lewin, and Mason Greenwood.
Yep.
You happy with that?
Yeah, I think there'll be maybe one or two changes, but I think that will be the bulk of it.
Yeah, largely. Yeah, especially with if people like Henderson, Grealish are
or like
injured.
Dyer I'm not too sure on, but Greenwood I'm not too sure on, but it's a decent squad. It's a decent squad.
No, it's a good squad. Do you think it's one that's capable of winning?
No.
I'm wrong.
I think they're capable. Do you know what it is though?
I think it's Gareth Southgate.
I'm going to defend my boy Gareth because I met him once and he was absolutely lovely.
Oh, shit. Conflict of interest.
And no, honestly, like he did like a conference type thing with a few of us, and he was honestly just like not only just nice but just very knowledgeable about loads of issues. Like we talked about like a lack of British Asians in football, and he was very knowledgeable on the topic. Like seemed very sincere. He spoke about like racism in football in a way that I've never heard any managers. Like it was actually like well thought out things. So I'm going to back him. I think
I don't dislike him. I think it's just
I know. It's just
3 years ago. Yeah, every man wanted to wear a blue like navy blazer, and it's just changed. It's just changed.
Wait, hold on, Aaron. Quick question for you: weren't you one of the people that wanted to get rid of Southgate? You're starting to doubt Southgate at a point.
I don't think that after
you thought that they should bring someone. I don't know.
My thing with that is just who else? Like everyone keeps going on about like get rid of him, but I'm like
the special one.
The era that we're in now with international football, there used to be a lot more like world-class managers in international football.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
You don't really get that anymore. Like most people have the kind of Gareth Southgate, so it's like I don't know. Give him this tournament.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't sack him. But I just think I think it's more because I think we've got such a talented squad of players. Yeah. This year and for the next World Cup.
Do you know what I've realised? So the way that the route is, for England, we play group. If you scroll down a sec, we play Group F. Okay, so regardless of if we come first or second. No, sorry. If we come first, we play Group F. If we come second, we play, I think maybe Group E or someone. Do we want to come first?
This is what we'll do now. This is kind of like we can select it or like fill this out for us. So instead of just like predicting who we think we're going to win, we can see. So it's actually a bit different this year because it's not like top 2 qualify. The third place matters. Is it the same as last year as well?
Yeah, it was. I hated that because Portugal didn't win a single group game and ended up winning the whole thing just because they like drew some games in the group stages.
Shout out to my boys, CR7.
I hate that.
So Group A, we got Turkey, Italy, Wales, and Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
This is quite an interesting group because Italy aren't really the force that they
did quite well in qualifiers actually. Yeah. They've got is it Mancini now as their manager?
Okay,
I think they'll do quite well. I think they'll win it.
Yeah, we go for them first.
Yeah.
Don't get rude about Italy, Aaron.
No, I'm not getting rude because Italy are a tournament team, to be fair to them. They do well in tournaments every time.
Oh, second, Turkey have been quite good recently, but Switzerland always do like pretty well.
Wales, there's been, Ryan Giggs is fucking doing his own thing. Like, I don't know what he's doing.
Being a prick.
That was a bit of my sentence. So.
Yeah, he's manager
doing his own thing, aka going to prison.
He's manager of Wales, Hamish, or like, I think he's
I don't know if
this was how.
He's been suspended. Oh, okay. But so I think Wales are in the bin. To be honest, I would have given them a chance, but
no, I'm gonna.
So Turkey.
I don't know. Turkey have been doing well. I live in like North London, right? Very like Kurdish, Turkish.
You sound
area.
like you're from North London, but I didn't like it before.
It's like a very Turkish, Kurdish area, and so I grew up with so many like Turks who just, whenever Turkey did well in the Euros, it was just like torture.
Do you know, I'm back in the Turks.
Go on then.
Should put them second.
I'll support it.
Yeah, that's because you don't want to start beef with them already.
No. I don't want to start beef with Swiss either, or the Welsh. What do you think for third? Switzerland?
I think Switzerland and Wales.
Yeah, so they're out. Okay, Group B.
Rest in peace, Gareth.
Denmark, Finland, Belgium, Russia.
Belgium going to win it for sure.
Belgium win it
first.
Ooh.
I'd maybe go Denmark.
I want to say Denmark as well.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of players. I can only think of like Kasper Schmeichel at the moment.
Is it Denmark that's got Braithwaite?
Yeah.
Barcelona player.
Yeah.
And they've got another striker. I'm trying to remember his name. Yeah, I'd probably go Denmark. Russia did pretty well at the World Cup, didn't they? But
Russia do.
That might be just because it was the World Cup in Russia.
Shade.
Not shade. It's just adds like a. Do you know what I mean? When you got 20,000 Russians in a stadium, it's going to help you.
Host nations normally do pretty well.
Yeah.
In their tournaments.
All right. I think Denmark. I think Denmark and Russia third.
Denmark, Russia third, Finland out.
Yeah.
Group C, we've got Holland, Ukraine, Austria, and North Macedonia.
That's a nice group, isn't it? If you're in that group.
Holland?
I don't know. Their manager, De Boer, has been doing pretty badly with them.
And Van Dijk said he's not playing.
Yeah.
But I still think,
why?
like...
Wait, why did Van Dijk say he's not going to play?
Just injury.
His ACL.
Oh. Let me see Austria. Are you saying Austria would be the contenders?
I think so. They're just one of those, they're like Switzerland, they're just always in it.
Arnautovic. To be fair, I don't want to go obvious each time. So if you think that could be the little
I think that could be the little shock. I'm going to go Austria first, Holland second.
Ukraine,
and then North Macedonia.
Yeah. Okay, this is Group D. So this is England's group. So England, Croatia, Scotland, Czech Republic.
Do you know what? If we weren't playing Czech Republic on the first game, we should throw that game in the way that we did against Belgium that time, because winning this group does not help you. You should not win this group. You should just not win it.
I don't think we're going to play like that though.
No, we won't. We'll have to. That's what I mean. It's the first game. England, Czech Republic.
Thing is, I can see us like losing to Scotland. I can just see it. I can see fucking Scott McTominay coming in.
I was going to say.
Header at the back. Let's go. No, but we'll do England first. Right.
All right. England first, Czech Republic second.
So you think Czech second over these two? Modric, Mandzukic.
Oh, sorry.
Rakitic.
Croatia second. Yeah. Sorry. I got them confused. Yeah, Croatia for sure.
Oh, wait. Croatia, yeah. They beat us in the...
Yeah. That's what I mean. And it's the first game, England-Croatia, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it's Czech Republic. I can't remember.
I don't mind if you want to put England second, to be honest.
But that's what I mean. We should, whether we're going to throw the game against Croatia, because we should.
Or let's fill it out first and then see who we're playing, and we can maybe change it.
Right. And I'd say
I think Scotland. Let's back another UK.
Yeah.
UK nation. Okay, Group E, we got Spain, Sweden, Poland, Slovakia.
Probably Spain first, Poland second.
Yeah, I think Lewandowski.
Yeah.
Zlatan came out and said he won't be playing Euro 2020 after coming back from international retirement just for it.
Sweden third, I reckon. Although
Sweden could, they got Lindelof.
I'd say like Sweden, Poland, Slovakia are all kind of like a decent, similar level.
Yeah, Slovakia
so that could go anyway.
See, Poland, we beat Poland pretty easily. They were in our group, weren't they?
Yeah, but that was without Lewandowski. So
I'd maybe say Sweden second, you know?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Let's do Sweden second.
Also, Spain aren't that good at the moment either.
No. It's a group F, so this is the group of death.
This is a difficult one. I think France first. Portugal are dark horses though, again, because their squad is better than their squad last time they won it. Their squad's actually, I think Portugal are going to qualify third. Do you know what I mean? But I think they'll still do well. Yeah. I think they'll be the best of the rest.
Like Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Ruben Diaz, Bernardo Silva.
You know? Matinho, they've got like all of the Pedro
Wolves.
Neto.
They basically have Wolves.
Pedro Neto, Neves.
Well, Germany, they're losing their manager. I don't think Germany's team's as strong as it used to be as well, though.
No, it's not. It's not. And they messed up a few times in qualifiers. But I still think...
Even France haven't been doing too well from like when I've been seeing like...
But they're one of those who can afford to play a load of like substitutes. They wouldn't actually play. But when you look at their first team, they're clear.
Yeah.
They're clear. All right, let's go Portugal third, Hungary fourth. But I think Portugal could do it.
Okay, so this means third place rating. So it says...
Yeah, all right, pick our best. Portugal.
But the thing is, Portugal are in this group. So even though they're better than these other teams, they might not get the points because...
I think they will, because you really only need one win and a draw to be the best of the rest.
Yeah, they could easily... They'll beat Hungary and they could get a draw
Hungary,
from...
do you know what I mean? Whereas other teams will just draw with others.
Oh, wait, but do you have to order these as well? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Portugal first, though, still.
You still think Portugal first? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go for it.
Should we put Poland in there? Because
they're in a group that you can get a lot of,
I would say put it in the exact order it is, just go reverse 1, 2, 3. So, you know, Poland, Scotland, Ukraine.
Scotland. See, like Ukraine could beat North Macedonia. All these teams could get 3 points.
They literally could get any. Yeah, you're right about Portugal, you know. I don't know. Let's just go with like...
Let's just choose the best teams. Let's not worry about the group.
Yeah, let's just go with...
So would you put Poland second out of these?
I'd put maybe Switzerland second. Poland third.
Scotland.
I'm really winging this, by the way.
Yeah. Let's put Scotland in because... Okay, yeah. I want them to get through Scotland.
There you go.
Okay, round of 16. Italy, Holland.
Italy.
Ooh.
I'm going to go speed round on this.
Okay, Turkey, Denmark.
Oh, Turkey?
Let's go for it. Go for it. Belgium, Poland. Belgium. Yeah. Austria, Portugal. Portugal. Croatia, Sweden.
Croatia.
Okay, so this could have been the game we would have had.
This is what I'm saying. Would you rather play Sweden or play Germany? So do you want to win the group or come second? You want to come second. I don't care. Throw the game.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, because the second team out of those wouldn't be bad.
A winnable game.
Okay, France, Switzerland, France. Guessing.
Spain, Scotland, Spain.
Sorry, Scotland.
And then do you know what I mean? Then England are out. Germany are free.
England. No.
All right, let's put England for now. Let's put England for now.
Do you remember that summer when everyone finally believed?
You know, looking at the next...
Played shit.
Okay.
We played terrible teams.
The thing is, though, now we're saying we're giving them the benefit of doubt in the first round, but...
Yeah, then you play...
But the thing is, I think we beat Spain. That's the thing.
Yeah,
so our next game is England-Spain. I think we beat Spain.
I agree.
But I give us a better chance of beating Spain. I'll do Germany, though. Okay, Portugal, Turkey. Portugal. Italy, Belgium.
Ooh,
Belgium.
I think Belgium.
Is Roberto Martinez still Belgium manager?
I think he'll take them to the semis and not the finals.
Okay, Croatia, France. Okay, France, Belgium. Are we going France?
We're going to put England in the finals.
France, and we're going to back it. We're going to say England.
Are we? Because mate.
I think it might be.
Okay, so what are we saying? Portugal, England in the semis.
Are we going with our heart or our brains?
Aaron, you always do heart over.
We're not getting to the final. I'm sorry, we're not. I'm going to make an executive decision.
I think we beat. You know what? I think we beat Portugal. But I still go back to Germany. I don't think we beat Germany.
I think in this hypothetical world where we beat Germany, maybe we could get to the final. We're not going to beat Germany.
The thing is,
Can I say, if I don't post on Insta or anything, but if England win, I'll post on Insta. Yeah, just at both of you. I mean,
the thing is here, France, England, I think France win.
Yeah.
But I would actually give Portugal
I can agree with that.
a chance against France.
I still think, maybe. I think France is going to win.
Hey, look, the stats say England is second most predicted.
That's just because it's an English website.
Okay, so wait, so with our heart, if you take England to France,
it's still
England,
France.
it's still France.
It's still France.
So we are predicting France are going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, Portugal would be my outside shot.
Yeah.
I think even finishing third in their group, they have a pretty good chance of getting to the final.
It's true though, what you were saying before, will they even finish on points enough to...
Yeah.
But I think they could get a point out of Germany or something, to be fair.
I think they could finish above Germany, to be fair.
I do too.
In second. But then that would mean England...
Can you take a screenshot of round of 16 up till the final and see how we do?
Yeah, so what we've... wait, do we go England? We went England, didn't we?
Yeah, but we'll know that we were supposed to.
Okay, so France, England final.
Can we also see what it's like if Germany win that England game?
So if Germany win, it's Spain,
they're
Germany.
Beating Spain, right?
They're beating Spain.
Are they beating Portugal?
Do you know what? I think this semi-finals are much more interesting without England there.
Yeah.
I think Portugal-Germany is a much better game. And what, do you think Portugal then? Oh no, but then that's weird. So it's like Portugal, Germany and France, all those three teams.
All in the same group, I know. But that's what I don't like this new format, to be honest. I don't like it. But
either way, we're going France for the win, right?
I think so. Although I think actually Germany maybe have a chance against them just because now and then they can just pull out a worldie of a result. But
yeah, just a tournament. But yeah, we'll see how we do.
I know this is a very defeatist mentality, but if England got to a final and lost to a team like as good as France, you do just kind of feel like, oh, that's a shame, but it's not like... Yeah. It's kind of heartbreak, but it's not like heartbreak.
I'm still celebrating.
We didn't lose.
You get beaten by the better team.
If England lose in the final, I'll still celebrate.
Okay, I wouldn't say celebrate.
because you'll be in like you were thinking we're going out in round of 16 or so, yeah. Whereas I'm going to be
because then you get your hopes up. Do you know what I mean?
This is the sham of being a football fan. Is what I've realised in the last few years. No one's ever happy because you just get your hopes up. The moment you do better, you just get your hopes up. And there are only about 3 trophies to win each year, so you just constantly disappointed.
One thing I think we have a good chance of winning is the Golden Boot. So
great.
I think Harry Kane might have a good. I'd put it between Harry Kane and maybe Lukaku. Yeah. For the Golden Boot.
Mbappe,
yeah. I think France might share the goals a bit more around though.
Yeah, it's true.
Griezmann
they don't have like a traditional.
Mbappe could be player of the tournament though. Wouldn't put it past him. But yeah, I think we'll put a screenshot of that and share it once the final happens. But yeah, awesome. I think that's pretty much us coming to the end of the episode. What we do is we sent you the plan beforehand, so we end it with like some final questions, a call out, and then a shout out. So final question we've got for you. First one is, if you had your own podcast or even like a YouTube channel that you think you're starting and you were inviting a guest on, who would be that guest? Who would be the dream?
So it depends whether it's in music or football.
Go one of each.
Music. Do you know what? I might go with someone like Dolly Parton or Carole King, just like 2 incredible female songwriters who just like killed it in a time where being a woman in the music industry was tough. So I just love Dolly Parton. She's like just the best. So yeah, I'll go with one of them. Football wise, I don't know, maybe like if I spoke Portuguese, I'd go with Richarlison just because I love him. But I used to love Lukaku with all my heart, so I'm going to say Lukaku.
Yeah, really? Big Rom.
The next question is, if you had to listen to one song forever or album, what would it be?
Album, and I know this is very basic, but Drake, Take Care, because in all honesty, that is what I listen to the most out of any album. But there are a lot of classics as well. Any sort of Stevie Wonder album, anything like that, I could possibly choose as well. Song though, individual song, maybe Frank Ocean, Thinking About You.
Okay, yeah,
go with that.
I like that. The third and final question, and this is a question we ask every guest, and that is, what has been your most memorable third wheeling experience?
I'll go with, this sounds so pretentious and name droppy, but
you don't have to drop names, but we encourage.
encourage it. in one of like my first years working where I do, KEB invited me to the Ivor Novello Awards to go over, and just being in that environment, I felt like not the third wheel, but the however many people were in the room plus me, that wheel. That's how many wheels I felt. It was just like to my left, the table next to me. I didn't even realize I turned around and like Ed Sheeran was like just there, and I was like, what is going on? What is going on? And then like everyone on the table, because KB was like, she'd been a like judge on the panel or whatever for it that year, and everyone on her table were the other like panelists from that category. So everyone was like an esteemed songwriter, even if they weren't like that famous or anything. They were like, you know, esteemed in their genre.
You made it, Marva.
I didn't. I was just there as like some assistant at the time, and I was like, I just was looking around like, what am I doing here? So definitely that.
Oh man,
I was the 155th wheel or whatever it was.
Ed Sheeran just became the new shirt sponsor for Ipswich Town.
Yeah, I saw that for Ipswich. Yeah.
I think it's his like album or his tour that's a sponsor.
Yeah.
Rather than just like his face being on the shirt. That'd be funny. But that's kind of cute as well, because I know he's a lifetime boyhood supporter of them.
That's like a dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you could do that for your club, that'd be pretty sick.
And the next question or section is call out / nomination. So you could basically nominate one or many people to hopefully be a guest on in the future at some point.
Okay.
Who would you like to choose?
I'll go with, I think she was nominated by Laura as well, but Artie. She is not only a journalist, but a DJ and a dancer. She's just killing everything right now, so definitely her. And also my friend Marissa, who does not from Warwick, but she does a load of like art stuff, doing really well in like the artist game right now, and her shout out is MLQ Art. So yeah, them two.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll tag them when we release your episode. And last but not least is shout outs. So basically anything you want to just like plug or promote. Now we'll put the links to it in the show notes. So yeah, floor's yours.
Yeah, so my socials are Marva MSK, MARVA MSK on Instagram and Twitter. And my YouTube channel that I've just started is called From N4 to L4. If you're interested in football content, then go there.
Yeah, wicked. Hamish?
Honestly, I have so many shout outs for this week because there's so much music dropped this week. So I'm just going to quickly list off them and then you could go to the playlist and hopefully I'll add them into there. There's a Gigs Hardest Bar freestyle. Skeletons by Bugsy Malone, Doing Too Much by Avellino and Young Fume, Slice of the Pie with P Money, Chop by JK, Sneak by Ardads, Come a Long Way, Warm by K-Trap, and there's Boy Meets World album by Dino. I think there was also one with Nicki Minaj released the album and it has like Best Ever Had remix and so on. So I can't be bothered to find a name for it, but everyone will probably know it by this point anyway. So yeah, go check those out.
I'm going to shout out Mason Greenwood just because I think he's going to score the winner at the Euros in the final. Also, there was a song I heard. I was watching a compilation of him, and there was a song I heard, and it was a bar. It was like a bar on Mason Greenwood. I don't know if the song might have actually been called Mason Greenwood or something, but I need to find it. I'll shout out that and put it in the description.
There's a great one that references Calvert-Lewin as well. Rhymes it with Newham.
Newham. God. But yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks. That's the end of the episode. Thanks so much, Marva, for coming on.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Yep, nice meeting you as well.
You too.
And yeah, I hope everyone else enjoyed the episode. Football might be coming home. Who knows? Probably not. But yeah, we would. One day. We'll catch you all next week. All right, see you guys. Bye.
Bye.
The studio's my second home. That's why I have it in my bedroom. I really do this all on my own. A shark quarry and my brother home. He was here from the day one. And not gonna lie, he's a real one. In my team there are no fake ones. It's a fake love, no I don't.